bringing us those visuals from the Nowshera sector where heavy shelling has been heard last night and up to wee hours of the morning today. But of course, we have been talking about drones changing the nature of warfare. But it's not just drones which the Indian armed forces have been taking down using the L-70s. There are also reports of a ballistic missile which was shot into Indian territory, which has been taken down in the city of Sirsa. Remember, Sirsa is about 300 kilometers, 3 hours or so away from the national capital, New Delhi. And reports of Sirsa being at least attacked unsuccessfully so by a ballistic missile, and that ballistic missile has been taken down. Now, we were talking about the L-70s earlier, but the L-70s are specifically the air defenses used for attacking and taking down drones in the sky. But then India also has its air defenses in the other S-400s, which are specifically designed for taking down attacks of ballistic missiles and other missiles on the country. Of course, these have a much longer range than the short 3.5 to 5 kilometer range of the L-70s. Sakshi, take us through the comparison of India's S-400s with its counterpart in Pakistan, which India has taken out one launcher, the HQ-9.
Absolutely, Karthik. Thank you so much for tossing it over to me. We have already told our viewers the technicalities of L-70, so now it's time for us to compare the air defense capabilities of S-400. In fact, our air defense system with that of the Pakistan's. So S-400 Triumph, as our viewers can clearly see, it's a long-range radar homing surface-to-air missile that we call in a short form SAM system, of course. Compared to HQ-9 there in Islamabad, let's talk about it's also an long-range radar homing surface-to-air missile system. Post that more technicalities about both the systems. So the country of origin of S-400 Triumph that we have is Russia. On the other side, the HQ-9 with Islamabad is made in China. Post that, it was first produced. The R system was produced first in the year of 2007, compared to the one with Pakistan was formed in 1999. Then if we have to speak about the max target speed, it's Mach 14 or around 17,000 kilometers per hour with S-400 Triumph, compared to what the Pakistan's had. Its max target speed is Mach 6, which is around approximately 7,500 kilometers per hour. Then S-400 Triumph, let's speak about that. Target detection distance. This is a very critical point, viewers. The target detection distance for our S-400 Triumph is 600 kilometers. On the other side, if we have to compare it with HQ-9 that Pakistan has, it's around 120 kilometers only. Now, if you have to speak about when exactly was it inducted in the Indian Armed Forces, the S-400 Triumph was given to us in the year of 2018. On the other side, HQ-9 given to Pakistan in the year of 2021. So these were a couple of critical, points that were supposed to be noted by our viewers with regards to the comparison between S-400 Triumph that India has and then the HQ-9 on the other hand with the Pakistan. Karthik, back to you. Let's discuss it further with our guests.
Thanks, Sakshi. Air Marshal Rana continues to be with us. Air Marshal Rana, I want to understand from you specifically, there is pretty much no comparison between the superiority that India can boast of when it talks about its air defenses, the S-400 versus the HQ-9s. 600 kilometers of target detection versus 120 kilometers, and the speed of the rockets that go up in the air, 14 Mach, that is 14 times the speed of sound as compared to just about 6 to 7 Mach for the case of HQ-9.
Karthik, I think there's a bit of a technical fault with Air Marshal's line. That is why we can't get through.
Karthik, let's hear you out on this.
I think we'll need to patch him. I think the bigger picture is that we have been able to successfully penetrate, neutralize Pakistani air defense systems, and we have attacked their air bases. So certain Rubicons of war have been crossed, and when we say certain Rubicons of war have been fought, a new parallel has been created between India and Pakistan, and that is that we have been attacking each other's bases, or we can say India has been responding to the Pakistan attack, and our response to the Pakistan retaliation has been that we have been hitting back at their bases. Now we have attacked recently, now the information is being put in that one of the military bases have been attacked. That's one. The second important thing is that India has given an indication that every time there is an attack on us, there will be a response, and the response would be bigger. So this second, I would say, this second myth that Pakistan had been able to build, that every time India attacks, the response would be bigger, faster, quicker, and they would behave in an irrational way which will completely decentralize India, will not work. General Shivane, isn't that true? These were the two things which Pakistan was working on. One, that strategic restraint is good for India. And I think the second thing, this myth they were spinning for the entire world, that we can behave very irrationally. The temperament of an irrational state, so an irrational state gets to do anything it likes.